Hey, you magnificent little brain tornado. Welcome to the Launch Lady Show. If you're here, you're probably feeling that familiar pull, the one that says you're meant to build something bigger, but you're doing it with a brain that refuses to stay inside the lines. You're tired of pretending that you operate the same way other entrepreneurs do, and honestly, you're done trying. I'm Brooke, the Launch Lady, custom launch strategist, digital business designer, and a woman who spent years shape-shifting into versions of myself that looked acceptable, disciplined, and together, until I realized that none of those versions were actually me. So now I build my business the only way that works, by honoring the instincts, the energy, cycles, the chaos, the clarity, and the deeply nonlinear becoming that comes with being a neurodivergent woman in entrepreneurship. And that's what this show is, a behind-the-scenes look at what it actually takes to become the kind of woman who launches, not just offers, but ideas, identities, boundaries, and entirely new versions of herself. Around here, we tell the truth. Your business won't grow in a straight line. Your creativity won't show up on command. Your brain will do its own thing. And that's the thing that is often pure genius. When you stop trying to force it into a blueprint that was never designed for you. We don't build by squeezing ourselves into someone else's system. We build by creating businesses that bend with us, support us, and make space for who we actually are. This isn't a place for perfect strategies or a step-by-step formula. This is real, evolving, unfiltered journey of what it looks like to create a life and business that you're proud of, while learning, unlearning, remembering, and rebuilding yourself all in real time. My mission is simple: to show you what's possible, to remind you that your brain is not a liability, it's a creative force, and to walk beside you as you become the woman who launches the life she actually wants. All right. You beautiful chaos, you. Let's dive in. In today's episode, I am going off script, as I like to do from time to time, because it just allows those creative juices and creative things to just come out of my brain as they come. I've been talking a lot about launching a podcast on my Instagram lately and helping people to launch a podcast and talking about what it takes and what it is that you might need to possess in order to have a podcast. One of the things that I've really decided to incorporate into the teaching that I'm doing is letting people know they should have a couple episodes on the back burner. And the reason for this is, as a neurodivergent person, I know myself really well at this point. And I mean, I learn new things about myself all the time, but this I know about myself really, really well. I'm not always in creative brain mode. Sometimes I'm a potato. Sometimes my brain is mush. Sometimes my brain's processing. Sometimes my brain is in absorption mode and it can't put anything out. But when my mind is in creative mode, watch the fuck out. I will talk so fast. I will try to get every thought out of my mind out into some place, because I know that if it's out of here and captured somewhere else, that it's safe there, because in here is not safe. In here isn't safe. So when I say have a few podcasts on hand, the reason I say that is this. When you are launching a podcast, you want to consistently be launching one a week, right? And not every day, not every week are you going to feel like your brain's in creative mode. So having those extra episodes sitting there waiting, or just creating them in advance a few weeks at a time so that you have space to actually create them, is going to give you the space to create when you are ready. And I love this too, because this means that when your brain is on, you should sit down and record as many episodes as your brain will allow you to get out. You should sit down and just let the things out into the world. So I've been talking about this a lot, not because I think it's something that everybody needs to do, but it is something that absolutely works in your favor as a neurodivergent person who has a podcast. It's one of the most common things I hear people say, like, oh, I don't know if I want to start a podcast. It's really a big commitment every single week. And I get it. It is a commitment to put out a new episode every single week, to get that episode recorded, edited, and put into the place, get all the show notes and make reels out of the thing, whatever it is that you're going to do with this thing. It's a commitment. And I understand that. But we work really well in podcasts as neurodivergent people, because a lot of us are verbal processors. We have so much to say. And we also fear being perceived in snippets. Instagram is the worst if you're someone who does not like to be perceived in small doses, if you like to, I'm not saying get on a podcast and over explain yourself and apologize for who you are as a human being, because we can also do that. But if you have this fear of like, if I say something in 30 seconds, somebody's not going to know exactly what I mean. I need a minute or I need 5. Podcasts, great for that. There's a million reasons podcasts are great for neurodivergent women, especially neurodivergent women in business. It's also something that can give you a little extra sizzle. We love dopamine, right? And a podcast gives us that dopamine. It gives us something new to chase every single week. It gives us the opportunity to step outside of our business a little bit and maybe do something different. You don't have to have everything so perfectly on topic on a podcast. You don't have to be in a box on your podcast. Your podcast allows you some of that creative freedom that sometimes doesn't come within your business. When you're in your business and you're constantly talking about the same things over and over and over because you're trying to, be known as this person who does this thing or these handful of things, our brains can shut the fuck down and be like, I am so tired of talking about this thing. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to completely build a whole new fucking business because I don't want to talk about this anymore. Ask me how I know that. Another topic for another day. But a podcast allows you that freedom outside of that to explore some of the other things that are on your mind, to give voice to a lot of the things that you have to say that don't necessarily fit inside the box of your business. Now, yeah, use it to promote your business. Yeah, align it with your business. But there's so many things that you can explore within a podcast that it's a little harder to explore when you go on social media and try to be known for a thing, right? I love the freedom that a podcast gives you as a neurodivergent person in business. So if you're a neurodivergent person and you've been thinking about starting a podcast and you're like, I would love to, but I'm going to get stuck. I'm not going to be able to see it through. Yes, you are. And I'm going to help you. And I'm going to help you for free. In the show notes, I've got a link. Go grab it when the episode is over. It is a way for you to launch your podcast within 30 days. It is a laundry list of things, and not a laundry list because we hate laundry. It's a very fun list of things that you will want to do before you launch your podcast. And I make it as simple as possible because the thing is, you don't need to have perfection to launch a podcast. You don't need a microphone. I have like the bottom of the line microphone as far as purchasing a microphone goes. Headphones are something people do like, and it can improve your sound quality. I personally can't stand things on my ears or in my ears, so it's not something I use. All that stuff's the stuff we think about that we need to start a podcast, but in all reality, the thing we really need is a voice. And you already have that. You have so much to say. You have so much to offer. And I want more people to feel comfortable and confident launching their podcast so that they can get their voice out into the world. There's not an oversaturation of voices in the world. We need every single one. And there is someone waiting for your specific voice, your specific message to come out into the world so they can find it and so that they can relate and so that they can feel better, so that they can do their thing that they want to do. I'm passionate about this. So go ahead and grab that. It's free. It's down there. The next thing that I find people kind of running into a wall with sometimes is, okay, that's great, but I don't have time to edit a podcast. Couple of things that I can offer you here. First and foremost, it does not have to be a perfect edit. You don't have to do a video either. Like I'm recording on a video right now. You can literally just record on your phone an audio and upload it to Spotify. It's easy peasy. That's all you need to do. You can be the person that edits, or you can be the person that uploads it raw. If you're the person that needs to edit, editing an audio file, if you have a 30-minute audio that you upload, just double that for the time it might take you to edit the thing, because you're going to listen, you're going to edit and cut, right? So if you spend 30 minutes talking, you maybe need to spend another hour on editing and then uploading, and you're good to go. So I don't want this to be this overwhelming thing that you do. On top of that, this is something you can outsource. And when we talk about outsourcing, we always want to talk about, is this worth the time that I put into it? And if you just don't have the time, then you can outsource it. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to talk about this first. When we talk about adding anything to our business, be it a podcast or whatever, we always want to assess it. Like, is this going to fit for several reasons? And one of them, is it going to feel good to me? Is it something that I'm going to feel good doing? Is it something that's going to add to my business in some way, shape, or form? And then also, is it something that I can afford to give my time into, right? Sometimes we can and sometimes we can't. So let's talk about what a podcast can do for your business. I have a client who has been doing her podcast for a couple of years now, and she is getting clients coming in from that podcast like you wouldn't believe. People find her she doesn't even know exist, and it's amazing. So a podcast can be a really incredible tool for your business. Is it something that overnight is going to be an incredible tool for you that way? No, this is a long game. You do need to put some work and effort to it and be consistent in it in order for it to be found like that, right? So no, that won't happen overnight, but it is definitely a real possibility for you when you're launching your podcast. The next thing is that it actually allows you so many different pieces of content. So many different pieces of content from one thing. And I have another resource that's free down in the show notes. Grab it, where you can take this transcript, because most places that you record now will give you a video transcript or an audio transcript of the thing that you are doing. And if you need recommendations for that, that's in the first document that I told you is free out there. You can take the transcript, copy and paste it into ChatGPT with the prompt that I have there for you. It will take your transcript and it's going to make it into gobs of other content. I'm talking you're going to have 2 carousels, 2 static posts, 2 B-roll reel options, a blog post, an email, all kinds of things from one transcript. You spend 30 minutes recording a podcast. You spend another 30 minutes to an hour getting it ready to go out into the world. And then you take that prompt, put it into your AI with the transcript, and then you have gobs of other content to sustain you for weeks if you want, if you space this out, or you can put them wherever. But the thing is, that's the investment, or that's the return on investment that you're getting there, is the type of content. Plus, over time, this is going to be able to gain you customers. And the reason that it does that, the reason it gains you customers and it makes your content better, is that you are allowed to be out here showing up in a completely different way than social media allows. We talked about how we don't like being perceived in 30 seconds, right? Well, not only that, but you and me sitting here right now, you listening to me right now, you're getting a completely different view of who I am, how I work, how I speak, how I like to help people, because we're sitting here face to ear, or maybe face to face if you're watching here on YouTube. You are getting a feel for who I am. You are learning to either trust or not trust me based on the information that I'm sharing with you right now, based on the way that I'm presenting it to you, based on the way that I act here. This is a unique thing that you can offer people in your business. And one of those ways that you can use that is using your podcast to answer some of the questions you are asked the most often. And that is another return on investment that a podcast can give you. So if you are someone who's asked the same question over and over and over, and you've got like a copy and paste message, or, maybe it's something that you really can't explain in a copy paste message, it's easier to deliver face to face, to have a phone call with. If you're spending a whole bunch of time explaining the same thing over and over and over to somebody, podcast, share the link with anybody who asks that question. Put the video on your website, on your FAQ page. It's definitely something that's going to save you time. Return on investment is definitely here in a podcast. Now, all of that said, these are things that are going to grow your business. You're going to simplify your business, going to make your business more fun. It's going to make things better for you in your business. And if you just don't have the time, then it's outsourcing time. And outsourcing is worth it when you look at all of the other things that this podcast gives you. A space to be yourself, a space to expand your ADHD-ness into another place, or your neurodivergent-ness and out into another space, a place to be perceived differently than just in a 30-second snippet, a place for you to get all of your other content from quickly and easily, a place for you to answer frequently asked questions and save time that way, and a space for you to deliver information in a way that allows people to understand how you work in a whole entirely different and new way. If you ask me, a podcast is a no-brainer for those reasons alone. So when you're outsourcing, you're paying someone to edit your videos for you, perhaps to edit the video and the audio, perhaps to also create reels for you, perhaps also to do show notes and things like that and schedule them in all the places. That's something you can do as well. That's something I help people do. I can do for you if you want to talk about that. It's worth the time investment. It's worth the outsourcing investment because of what it brings back to you in your business. Podcasts are a business tool that gives so much back. So now if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know what the hell I would say on a podcast, I have no idea. I don't know what I would talk about. I don't have any idea what I would do as far as offering my voice to the world. I don't find the value in my own voice. Come here and let me tell you so gently and so lovingly, bullshit. You have so much to offer. Are you perfect and polished and the perfect voice out on a podcast right now? Maybe not. Maybe you are. Maybe not. Starting from day one, your first podcast episode is not going to be your favorite episode because you're going to grow and learn and evolve and change, and you're going to add different tools that are going to make your podcast sound different, look better, whatever, throughout the years. But if you don't start, you don't get to the place that looks the way you want it to look, looks the way you envision. And while you're focused on the vision and the place that you want this to go, there are people there just waiting for you to share your story, waiting for you to share your perspective, waiting for you and your unique view of the world, view of what you do, view within your niche, whatever it is. They're waiting for exactly what you have to say. Be the one that's brave enough to do it. Be the person that's brave enough to put your voice out there shaky. Be the person that's brave enough to go out there in the most imperfect way possible, to be the most relatable human being possible, because none of us are ever doing this with full perfection, ever. Be that person. Do you want to be that person? Because I think you do. I think you do. Give yourself the space to do that through podcasting. And with that, I'm going to end this episode. So I want to thank you for spending time with me today. If you want to stay connected, come find me on Instagram at thelaunchlady.brooke. My DMs are open always. I love to hear from you. You're going to find free goodies and deeper support in the show notes. And if this podcast made you feel just a little more seen today, sharing it, following it, or leaving a review helps more women to feel that way too. Until next time, keep becoming the woman who launches.